So EA just did something I honestly never expected them to pull this off, or even do this ever. For a game that hasn't even released yet, the new Battlefield in 2026 is going to actually give us some details on some of the things that are going to be coming before the game even releases, especially for their new system called Battlefield Labs, which if you don't know, it's basically a community test environment to improve the game before it releases. And their first article they just released talks about their focus on gunplay and movement. The developers are refining and modernizing gunplay and movement mechanics, drawing on the best elements from past Battlefield titles. This is literally what they're saying and what they're looking to do, and the test actually just released last night to some lucky folks. So you guys might want to check your emails to see if you got into Battlefield Labs, and this is what they're looking at, their first iteration. They aim to create a balanced experience that is both rewarding for skilled players and accessible for newcomers. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the gunplay. The weapons will provide clearer visual feedback on recoil direction, aiding players in developing muscle memory. It's a game that's going to focus on a bit of skill, but also still welcoming to new players. It's not just going to be willy-nilly just gunplay that you've seen in the past of other titles that we're not going to mention. Each weapon type will have a unique feel and playstyle. Reduced input delay for shooting, making it more responsive. The recoil system is adjusted to make the weapons feel more unique, and visual weapon stabilization is tied to player accuracy. So this is really good because now it kind of will make the game feel more gritty, more gunplay that is proper to the genre we're looking at, which looks to be modern, and something we can learn and improve on. The next thing they talked about was improved movement. So, as you guys know, there's a lot of sliding going on it started from Battlefield 5, and a lot of people have weird opinions about this. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I like the little bit more slowed down movement. Pretty much what we saw in Battlefield 3 and 4. Maybe we could improve it with some vaulting, that kind of stuff. Maybe crouch running. I don't think we need sliding where everybody is just figure skating all over the place and get something like Call of Duty. Let's not go down that path. But from what they said movement is integrated with gunplay for a cohesive combat experience. They've got a revamped animations and reintroduced movement features like crouch sprint, combat dive, and landing roll. Pretty nice to see. We haven't seen combat diving, so I'm assuming we're going to see dolphin diving, in other words, a new maybe form of it, and landing roll. So maybe if you jump off a building and land something really high, you go into one of those parkour rolls. And they've added visual indicators for actions like vaulting and leaning. But moreover, Battlefield Labs wants feedback. That's the whole point about this. The game is in pre-alpha development, and testing is being conducted through closed Battlefield Labs play sessions, which I've mentioned earlier that you guys probably have already gotten in, and if you haven't, keep applying to see if you get in. And these sessions focus on testing specific features with a focus on gunplay and movement. EA is emphasizing the importance of community feedback in the development process. Players will be testing things such as weapon feel, aim and control, weapon balance movement, and map interaction and combat pacing. And now that we know all this, there are future updates. EA will provide regular community updates on progress of Battlefield Labs and share learnings from play sessions, and the game is set to release in 2026. Now that's a lot of info to digest, and there's one more thing I forgot to mention, that they're also going to be testing this on 60Hz servers, so registry is going to be there. You're not going to have to really worry about your shots not registering or just input lag or server lag or any of that stuff. It's all going to be figured out, because I know that was one of the bigger issues for when Battlefield 4 first released, and they've pretty much got that dialed in. So it truly feels like we're actually going down the path of what Battlefield 4 used to be, and continuing from that to improve it and make it a better experience. And I want to know what you guys think about all this. Drop it down below, because I really want to know how this new Battlefield is going to develop. And I think this is a huge thing from EA that I never expected to happen, giving us the ability to not only test the game ahead of time, but they're also providing the feedback to all of us, even though there's an NDA on those who are able to test it out. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below, because that really does help me out. And let me know what you guys think about the future of Battlefield, and I'll catch you guys all later.